Hey, Shalom Akim. Let's start off by giving all praises, honor, and glorification to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rucha Kudash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And shalom to the elect. I want to bring out this information concerning agents that our enemies, have used in the past and will use in this day and age in order to sabotage the progress of the Israelites, which are known as the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. Um, and that's something that the so-called white men, the Edomites, have done. As I said in the past, ultimately just to infiltrate and to bring confusion or even to bring influence upon our people. Okay. And that's something we have to be aware of, as it says here in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And Satan is this physical counterpart of the spiritual demon. Satan is the so-called white man, the Edomites. Okay, their true biblical nationality. Okay, and we can't let him get an advantage of us. Okay, all right, we have to know of his devices. How are his devices being known? Through the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. Okay, so we know that what has been in the past is that which shall be. Okay, when you look at organizations as the Black Panther, Esau had so-called blacks infiltrate this organization in order to influence, and to bring back information and even to sabotage their plans. Okay, same thing with the so-called civil rights movement, and other different organizations, man. Okay, Esau has always used agents, to infiltrate these organizations, and that's going to be done in this day and age. Okay, we know that the largest movement now is the Hebrew Israelite. Okay, which Esau calls the Black Hebrew Israelites, which is number confusion. Okay, there's no such thing as a black person, neither is there anything as a white person. Okay, these are all it's a social construct that Esau put in place in order to categorize the people, put them in certain categories, and we know that black has an evil connotation to it. It's all just to put a bad image on the Israelites. Like the word black actually means you say somebody's black, it means they're void of light. Okay, so that's all deception from Satan, Esau, Edom. Okay, the so-called white man. All right, so even in this day and age, he's gonna try to infiltrate this movement, man, which is the movement of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's all prophecy being fulfilled, man. Okay, that's Ezekiel 37 being manifested. Okay, Ezekiel 37, Revelation the 11th chapter. Those dry bones are being made alive. All right, so what is Esau gonna do? He's gonna try to stop this plan by infiltrating, putting agents in place to sabotage and bring confusion and thwart, the progress, or attempt to thwart the progress, okay, of this movement. Okay, so I have this information here, and that's an example of how Esau used agents amongst the so-called natives, to bring to thwart their progress. Okay, this is based on. I'm going to reference this book, The Black Indians, A Hidden Heritage by William Lauren Katz. And this is at page 152. It goes on about the Trail of Tears, which happened after the Indian Removal Act of 1830, where ultimately the so-called natives, namely the Five Nations, the Cree, the Chickasaw, Choctaw, the Cherokee, and the so-called Seminoles, were moved from the east to the west across the Mississippi River, okay? And they had to go through harsh conditions, disease was rampant, of course, starvation, you know. And it says here that it says they were eventually deposited on lands in Arkansas and Oklahoma that so-called whites considered uninhabitable. So they were moved from their fertile land onto a land that the so-called whites considered uninhabitable. Okay. It says on their new lands, Indians faced new assaults. Whites seeking to profit from their misery appeared in their camps with products to sell. Native Americans became more dependent upon white goods and values. You see that? So now they were completely dependent on their enemies, and that's prophecy too. It says it's in the book of Deuteronomy 28 that we shall seek him for the want of all things. Deuteronomy 28 and 40, it says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed you. So that's another point that proves that the curses only apply to the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men. Okay, when you write yoke of iron, look up, you write yoke of iron, you'll see a so-called black with iron on his neck. But yeah, so the point is, they came in the land after they pushed us in that land. It says they appeared in their camps with products to sell, so then we had to depend upon them. Okay, Native Americans became more dependent upon white goods and values. It says government Indian agents regulated their lives and paved the way for other intruders. Okay, so the government set in place agents. Okay, whether they were terrorists or wicked Israelites, they were in place in order to influence the people. It says they regulated their lives and paved the way for other intruders. It says slavery became even more entrenched. Okay, so they encouraged these agents. They encouraged slavery. Okay, it says the Indian agents sent by Washington openly encouraged slaveholding. Soon, two distinct classes based on slave ownership divided each Indian nation. Okay, mixed bloods owned slaves and usually had some white ancestry. Meaning what? They were tares, man. Okay, when you look at the parable of the wheat and tares in Matthew the 13th chapter, it tells you that the devil, sowed tares in that in the field, man. Okay. Matthew 13 and verse 38 says, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one, Esau. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, the harvest, the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Okay, so mixed bloods owned slaves and usually had some white ancestry. Though a minority, they felt both of these facts made them superior, fit to rule. Right, that's a Edomite characteristic, man. Okay, the proud. This also meant the amount of white blood was a positive, much as the amount of black blood was a negative. Full bloods formed the majority, but because they had no white blood and held no slaves, they had little power. Okay. All right, so, that's basically that's basically the point here. Okay, they set up Indian agents, whether they were once again terrorists or wicked Israelites. You know, that's one of the tactics of the devil. Okay, to set up agents. All right, so I want to bring out this precept here in the book of First Maccabees. Like I said, it's just about awareness. Okay. First Maccabees 1:11. It says, "In those days Israel, when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, 'Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.'" You see? "For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well." Okay? So you can say those were agents, man. Okay, they were wicked men. They went to make agreements with the opposition, the enemy. Okay, you know, that's bringing bad influence upon our people. Okay, which is ultimately the goal of these Edomites, man. Okay, as it says in the book of Psalms 82, 62, it's like they only consult to cast them down from his excellency. They delight in lies. Okay. It says, "Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief." Okay? You know? So we definitely have wicked Israelites amongst, these amongst these camps. Okay, just like there was wicked Israelites amongst us, man. Okay, and they want to make agreements with the wicked. Okay, with our enemies. Okay. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 5:26. As it says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that set the snares. They set a trap. They catch men. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. They are become great and waxing rich." Right? So some do it for filthy lucre's sake, man. They do it for money. They confuse our people. They thwart our progress. They bring, like I said, bring confusion, bring deception. Okay, all this to stop the try to stop the progress, man. Okay, verse 28: "They are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge." Okay. All right, so I just wanted to bring out this information, man. Okay, I was reading this in this book, how the government set up Indian agents, man. Okay, to bring influence and evil influence to our people. Okay, all this to help, to help the enemy, man. Okay, so once again, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. So as he's used this tactic before, so is he going to use it now, man? Okay, so hey, scripture tell you that we have to be circumspect, man. All right, so hey, I'm gonna end off by giving all praises, honor, and glorification to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah Kudash, that belongs to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the elect.